Most adult men walk through the world functionally invisible. Society simply doesn't notice them unless they are actively providing something of value. But sometimes that baseline gets disrupted. Take a structurally average man who suddenly builds a moderate following on the internet. Out of nowhere, a barber in San Francisco reaches out. He likes the man's videos and offers him a haircut, completely on the house. It takes a moment for the reality of that interaction to sink in. At 40 years old, this is the very first time a total offered to give him a gift. Receiving something for nothing isn't a normal Tuesday. For a man, it's a massive statistical anomaly that requires a drastic shift in his reality to trigger. The retail value of that haircut is about $40. To earn that $40 gift, this man had to provide tangible value to a few million people. At a typical bar, men routinely walk up to total strangers and offer to buy them 2 drinks, the same $40, without a second thought. Unlike the barber's offer, which was a response to years of content creation, these drinks are offered to women who haven't displayed a specific skill or provided a service. They are receiving the gift simply for being present. This creates a massive disparity in the entry price for attention. For one person, the gift is a reward for massive societal contribution. For the other, it is a tribute to their existence. When the same monetary value requires vastly different levels of effort based on your demographic, you are essentially operating in 2 different social marketplaces. When a man buys that drink, he isn't acting out of pure gratitude. He is investing capital to increase his chances of initiating a sexual relationship. This chart maps the social transaction. The primary action, the gift, is obvious. But to be socially acceptable, the actual motive remains strictly hidden underneath. The recipient only sees the gift. The strings attached are completely mystified, leaving her blind to the exchange mechanics. If you constantly receive gifts and validation without having done anything to earn them, you naturally deduce that you must deserve this treatment simply for being who you are. This creates a state of low-grade fame. It's a constant stream of unprovoked validation that conditions women from a very young age to view themselves as the inherent prize. Half the population has their perceived self-worth artificially inflated by an invisible economy, all driven by a disguised transactional motive. Men operate under a completely different set of rules. They are conditioned from childhood to understand that any good treatment has to be earned by providing value to others. To trigger the kind of baseline attention that women receive naturally, men have to engineer it through something called visible competence. Invisible assets like hidden wealth or physical fitness under layers of clothing don't trigger this effect. Fame and status work because they are highly visible and immediately apparent to everyone in the room. When a man achieves that visibility, it acts as a massive force multiplier. The friction drops and social interactions suddenly become incredibly easy. A man generally assumes his invisible, highly difficult baseline is just the way the world works. He only realizes how transactional his reality actually is once he accidentally crosses over and starts getting treated like a woman. When 2 groups exist in different realities, friction is inevitable. Men look at the sheer difficulty of their daily existence and feel a deep, pervasive frustration. Because the motives behind a woman's unearned attention are kept hidden, she internalizes that treatment as a reflection of her own inherent value as a person. If she believes these gifts are simply her due for being good, any mention of a transactional motive feels like a direct insult, a suggestion that she hasn't actually earned the status she's been told she has. The result is a permanent disconnect. Neither demographic truly grasps the rules of the economic reality the other is forced to live in. But men cannot simply blame the other side. Men are entirely complicit in constructing the very delusion of entitlement they complain about. The current rules of the social marketplace are not some fixed law of nature. They are a learned behavior, carefully trained into women over decades by the men around them. To correct the marketplace, the input has to change. Men must entirely stop giving out unearned attention and unprovoked validation. Resetting the psychological baseline of society begins by refusing to fund a delusion. Only then can the social economy finally operate on actual, earned value.